recording, yeah. Okay, so hi everyone, welcome to the weekly webinar. So I'm glad to see all of you here again. So today we are going to, as usually, discuss updates on the CEDAR localization, data access and control, and also special issue. Yeah, apart from that, we're also going to discuss more about vocabulary creation, so and define the task groups for specific tasks within the CEDAR project. So with that, I would like to hand over to the Professor Miriam. Professor Miriam, would you like the floor is yours. So would you like to speak to as an opening?
Definitely. It's very good to have everybody here around again, and also welcome to our colleagues from Mekelle. Very good to see you. I think I'm going to put the screen on. This one. You can see, right, my screen. Yeah. So we're going back to this architecture again. So here, this is the architecture for the clinical data, which are particular to the VODAN Africa dashboard. So we have the bulk input that Gitu and Samson have programmed, which then goes into an embeddable editor, which is basically a tool within the clinic to produce the data. And those data are at two levels. One is metadata about the clinic. So this is really to identify the clinic. And then the metadata for the clinical patient data, which are reposited in residence and then are pushed out to DHIS in compliance with the information system required by the ministry, and which then produces the metadata, the analytical data within the clinic. It also produces the data point that is findable on the internet, and then it produces through the joint queries the dashboard at the VODAN level. So then taking ourselves to the next one, which is really relevant to Tunisia, is again can be the bulk input now here within the embeddable editor at the university, although this could also actually be CEDAR. This is something, Alia, that maybe Professor Francesca could change with /CEDAR. Then a metadata for research data. This is the project, but and the metadata for research. This should be the research project. The first one should be the metadata for the research project, and this is the metadata for the research data. The second one that needs to be changed. And that can go either in a localized university repository, or it can go into the CEDAR repository. That should be repository, not repositories. And that goes then to a dashboard for analytics within the university, if they choose to have one. That is not perhaps necessary. It could also just simply go to the research repository, which would be either the ZonMW repository or the CEDAR. That is also wrong here. It doesn't necessarily need to be the VODAN Africa dashboard. It can really be the research dashboard, to not mix it with the clinical data. So that this one should also be changed still. And then here we have the combined one, in which we have the embeddable editors at the different levels. We have the different repositories, either localized or joint. We have Andrea for the analytics, to carry out the analytics, and we have the metadata identifying the research project, university, the clinic here. And then, well, this should be reversed, these two. On the left side, the metadata identifying the clinic and the university, and the second one is the data proper. And that results in localized dashboards, if that is desired, and then in a dashboard for clinical data and a dashboard for research data. So that is the architecture with those changes that still need to be made. Alia, maybe I hope you've got them all while you have the recording. And if you can discuss these with Francesca and Obina, because we will need a correct version.
Okay.
And then
I have I have a question just. So I see that like we have a VODAN Africa dashboard and Zone MBA dashboard. So it's going to be the just like research dashboard, right?
Yeah, exactly. So in the current situation, all our research comes under Zone MBA research, because it is the Tunisia one. And so Dr. Mariam from Tunisia and Zora and so on, that's their work. But it is a nice element, because it allows us to work on the convergence between different communities, a community of clinical data and a community of research data. So that means that within the VODAN clinical data, the vocabulary needs to be completely controlled, which is what Mariam is leading. And then there will be convergence between those data and the data in the community of the research of Zon and Wei. And later there can be many other research communities, that's for the future. But right now, these are the two working communities that we are active in.
Okay, yeah, now it's clear.
Yeah. I'd be really grateful if you would pick this up with Obina to get it really completely right.
Okay, yeah, okay.
And then we can discuss the access and control, but maybe we don't need to do that now. What we today could discuss after the meeting yesterday on the creation of the vocabulary is that we have two processes, or maybe three processes, it's better to say three processes. So the first process is the one of the machine readable vocabularies of the templates. So this work is spearheaded by Mariam. And I would say that it would be very good if Mariam would have two people working with her. Mariam, I know you're there. Two people working with you to go through all the four templates and already the work that you are doing, identifying the ontologies that are there, that have vocabulary that fits, but also seeing where this is inadequate for the particular situation that we have. For instance, the names of the clinics, if you need to identify the name of the clinic, that ontology will not exist. So that needs to be created. So this is where the creation of the metadata comes in. And the work of the group of Mariam would be to prepare the templates and to organize the the system to control the vocabulary, but also, Mariam, to identify where the existing vocabulary is not adequate and we need to make our own vocabulary. Mariam, is that clear?
Yes, very clear.
So I think with Francesca, Dr. Francesca, you can identify 2 people, or maybe you have your own idea or you have 2 volunteers, but it would be good to have 2 persons working with you on that, because it's a lot of work and it is also better to do it so that you can then discuss it and divide the work, and then maybe every day or every 2 days discuss the findings. And then we will have 2 other groups, and it is proposed that one group will be led by Professor Francesca together with you, Alia, to make vocabularies where we don't have them. So that is the work that we have gone through now, what we can now start to do. And then also a second group to make the semantic vocabularies, doing exactly the same, but dividing the work. And that one, it is proposed that it would be led by Dr. Sakinat, together with Dr. Ibrahim, if that would be okay. I don't know if Dr. Sakinat is here. Dr. Ibrahim, you are there, Abdullahi?
It's actually Abdullahi, the other Abdullahi Kawu, not Ibrahim. It's for Sakinat and Kawu.
Okay, Kawu. Sorry for that confusion, Kawu. And Dr. Sakinat. So I don't see Dr. Sakinat, but that is Alia would be the proposition. And then Kawu and Dr. Sakinat, they will perhaps arrange with others of that team in Nigeria. And then Professor Francesca and you, Alia, you will also arrange with the data stewards available. And I would say that Kudakwashi could join the team with Dr. Sakinat and the Nigerian team, Kudakwashi, if that is okay. So it will be very, very important to follow the training, and Alia, you are distributing that. All of that has been recorded, so that is really the next critical step. And then the 4th team in these teams of vocabulary creation, the 4th team is led, I would say, by Dr. Mariam, but I know that Zora is here, because that is the team that functions within the context of ZonMW, Zora. And there are 2 different pathways where the vocabulary is deposited. So for all the vocabulary prepared within the context of VODAN as clinical data, they would go to bioportal VODAN as per agreement yesterday, Alia. And all the vocabulary for research data would go into ZonMW on bioportal. So Zora, that's very important, we make that distinction. And that gives a lot of freeway for Zora's team to create vocabulary in the context of the existing vocabulary in ZonMW. And so Zora and Miriam are not helped by the controlled vocabulary in the clinical data of VODAN. You understand that here in the context of the clinical data, we have to have a controlled vocabulary to come to the queries at the end of the exercise. Here, the work in the university data, that should go into the university data. And then we have here the two groups. And then what will be very interesting is if we can create convergence and queries across the clinical data of VODAN Africa and the Zon and Way data in the research data. Are there questions? Please ask questions, because this is really critical to the work that we're doing.
Let me clarify. So, as I understood, Mariam would be doing, so she will be organizing the system for controlled vocabularies, right? And like vocabularies for the templates of DHIS. And then me and Professor Francesca will be doing vocabularies where we don't have vocabularies, like.
Yeah.
So that not templates, right? So
no.
Mm-hmm. And where we, I mean, like, I'm just wondering where, like, where we can find. I mean, like, it's for me, it's clear where we can create, how we can create the vocabulary from the templates. We see the bioportal, and we just compare and then just create vocabularies in bioportal. In terms of templates, but then within this scope, I think I'm not clear.
So Mariam goes through the templates with the team, and so she creates the templates based on CEDAR, and then she meets ontologies that don't have a description in vocabulary that fits VODAN Africa. So then that goes from her team to your team or Dr. Sakinat's team. And then you take that on and you create the vocabulary for that entry. And that is published on Bioportal. And then, of course, you will communicate to the team of Mariam, like we have created it. And then Mariam, in her CEDAR template, can refer to Bioportal and finalize that entry.
Okay, now I see. So I get the list of like the vocabularies that we don't have in Bioportal, and then we do that, right? Now I got that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Is everybody else also clear? Mariam, let me ask you, are you clear?
Yes, all clear.
Good, great. And I would also like to say that I would really encourage as many as possible to do this, because it's very, very critical foundation for what we are actually doing. So for Kuda, for Putu, for Zora, for Getu also, so, and Samson, and then anybody else, Ezekiel, who's here, William, Wondimu. This is really the crux of what, you know, if we can do this, then all the rest is just basically computer science architecture. So this is really the new thing, and that makes it really, really interesting to do this. So with Francesca, I agreed this morning that we are really prioritizing this, while we are then also organizing the clinics where we are going to bring this architecture to. But like the technical work is in this and is the most interesting part. So if you can prioritize this for the time being, then I think that would be very, very good. Any other questions on this? Dr. Araya, can I ask you, because I haven't put Getu and Samson in the teams because of the current problems of communication, but I think it's possible to get a very, very good brief and set of downloaded links for them to work with, so that they keep up to date on this. And maybe between Aliyah and Mariam, it would be possible to send all the documents to you, so that it can reach Getu and Samson. How do you see it, Dr. Araya?
Yes, Miriam. As long as one of my team members from Makala are in Addis, so we can send any question, any document for Samson and Getu to work on, and they can send back to me. I mean, there is a complete shutdown of internet, but
Because if Mahalet is going back tomorrow,
yes,
then Aliyah, Mariam, like the PowerPoints of yesterday, that can be easily downloaded and sent in a WeTransfer or zip file, together with the links of critical sites, which maybe from time to time they will be able to enter, so that already they can really start going through the material in online, offline mode.
Yes, yes. So if there is any question, because I saw also on WhatsApp questions about some of the challenges of uploading the bulk data because of some errors. So if Alia or anyone can write me full the challenge, I can try to reach them through text, or when one of my friends or colleagues are going back to Magala, they can also address. But I will find a way to assist Samson and Getu to work offline while they are in Makala, and get back to share their response or their work to this to the team, to the VODAN team. Thank
you. So
yes, sure, we can do that, Dr. Araya. So I'll send yesterday's materials from the meeting, and then also describe an error that we had regarding the bulk input. So yeah,
fantastic. Thank you so much, Aliyah. That is excellent. So I think that I don't know if there are any other questions.
I think I have one more question.
Sure, please.
On the part for the metadata for the clinic or university, should I create a separate template for that?
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
Clear.
Yeah, so that we need to think of the kind of information that should be there, but it should be the name, the country. It's like the first layer of information that we had in the FAIR data points, like, you know, what is the name of the clinic, the country, the location, the level of the clinic. So what we want to know about the clinic.
Clear.
Or the hospital.
Yeah, okay.
Great, thanks for that question. That's good. And Zora, the same would be for the University de Soes on the project university, and then the information about the project. What is the subject of the topic, who were responsible for it, like the key information. But the one for Zora on ZonMW, that needs to be the same as what is used in the other ZonMW projects. So you need to do that by contacting Eric. Zora, can you do that?
She says yes because she has like, yeah, okay. She says yes in the chat.
Okay, okay. Okay, great. And is Zora, why can I not, it's because I'm sharing. Is Zora, are you completely clear about this process from your side?
So Zohra, can you speak to that?
Yes, she says yes, Prof. Okay, okay, that's good. All right, then Aliyah, for the technical part, I think that's good enough for today. If you, I hope it's not too much, Aliyah. If it's too much, then you have to tell me. But if you could work with Mariam and Professor Francesca in setting up these 4 groups. The group of Tunisia is basically self-organized, is Dr. Mariam and Zora and Morgan. So that one is no worry. But then the group of Mariam, I mean, Mariam, I think you can do, right? And then Aliyah, if you can do this for Professor Francesca, and then communicate with Professor Sakinat to do the same. And then if you guys can see that you are organized to communicate, at least between the coordinators of the 4 groups from time to time, to see how the work is going. And then also to collect questions that we need to ask then again to John and all of that, so that we can follow up where we how that is going, and questions for Eric Schultes and all of this. Then we can report back here first next week Monday, and then on Tuesday again here.
All right.
That's that, and then maybe we can go to the special issue and the other article. The special issue, the first articles have gone to edit. So congratulations to the authors. Misha, I think I can give you the floor on this, perhaps.
Misha, are you here? Can you hear us? Misha? I see he's should be here. No, he's not here. Oh, Misha?
Misha is here.
Yeah,
Mic is on. I guess it's trying to speak. Misha is, I can see him.
yeah, I think something with his mic, because his mic is on, but we can't hear him.
I have the overview document, so I could share that. So I stop sharing this, and then just one moment. Just have to find it. Sorry, Aliyah. Yeah, here. So you can see this. Can you see my screen? Yeah.
I can see the screen.
Okay. So we have, you can see the article of Mariam on fair equivalency says basically finished. I think it has gone through first edits, and I think Mariam you have just resend it again, haven't you?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, so well done. The one of Kuda Kwashi has also been sent, so that one is also through, and there is a third one, but I don't know by heart which one that is. So here we have the status. So yeah, we're just waiting now for all of the ones that are finalizing to come in, so that these all can be sent on. The one here of Yelena is almost finished. The one here of Kudakwashi can be sent for editing. Maybe it has already been sent. So this is the this is the other one that has been sent. Putu, fair equivalency in Indonesia. So that is the third one that I think has also been sent back today by Susan. So this is going very fast because Mariam, yours went in on Thursday or Wednesday, right? So the turnaround is now very high.
Yeah.
So that is to say, anybody who still is working on some finalization, really prioritize it, because this work is now really steadily going. So we need to get all of the things in final formats. Any questions on this? Aliyah, should I discuss anything more, or this is fine?
Professor Miriam, I have an information to pass across.
Yes.
The article by Louis, the VODAN in a box, a semantic data model for the WHO ECRS. Actually, the article is ready. They have done their own part. They sent it to you and I for us to write the preliminary pages. So that article is actually in our hands. So I'll upload to I'll upload to a Google Doc today and share the link so that we can collaboratively write the introductory part. But they have done everything from them. Yeah.
Okay. That's very, 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 very good. Then I'll look at that tonight or tomorrow as soon as I can. Okay. Yeah, I'm not going through this time again of the requirements of abstract and so on. I think we have done enough. Everybody knows what should be done. If there are any questions, if you have any problems on the shape or form, then reach out to any one of us, or especially to Misha or Sakinat, to get some support on that. There's never a problem. We are all learning together. So if you are unsure, then please reach out. Okay, then the last information is that we also have now done an overview article, which we have shared, Francesca, myself, some others, and this should go into a journal of advanced genetics. And many of you that you know have been part of the whole journey so far are invited to identify if you feel that you should be there as an author and what your contribution is. But it's really reporting on our collective work, so it would be good if it shows our collective input. So Francesca, how do you propose that we deal with that? You have seen it, Mariam has seen it.
Yeah, the VC and Eric Schultes have seen it.
Yeah, Eric Schultes, Eric Flickingshield.
Yeah. Perhaps we can share in a format where the proposed, the author listed can make comments, not as editor, but they can make comments, and then we can see how to review the comments and incorporate the suggestions. Okay. Maybe Mariam, because I don't want to put everything to Aliyah. Mariam, would you mind if I send you that document and for sharing and the proposed potential possible authors, and would you then send it out to them if there is anybody missing or anybody feeling that they really want to be part of it? They can then notify you, and that people then indicate to you, Mariam, first of all,
whether they want to be a contributing author, and second, if there's anything to say about the article to contribute, but not in a Word text. It will be too difficult for us to manage that. So that really would have to be in the email, giving indications of where the article could be improved and strengthened. Mariam, is that something that you could do?
Yes, sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Very, very good. So then we will follow that up as well. And that is really everything from my side, Aliyah. And I'm also a little bit time bound because I have to be somewhere. So I need to myself sign out. But it might be good to have some further discussions here. I saw Misha coming back, Dr. Raya. So if there is more detail to discuss, you can continue, but you please allow me to go. And Aliyah, if you can send that information that we just discussed to Professor Francesca and Obina, so that they can actionate that in the architecture. That's really important also for the article to have that exactly right.
Okay, I'll do that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Then I stop sharing, and I thank everybody for the patience and for the fantastic work. Everybody should be so proud. And then I'm leaving and handing over back to you, Aliyah.
Thank you very much, and yeah, see you.
Yeah.
Okay. So, is there any question related to special issue? So, if yes, you can ask it.
Aliyah.
Yeah, Poto?
But can Misa share the previous sheet that Professor Miriam share? I mean, I want to check the my article, the open data and fair article status, because
So,
I guess it's in edit status, but I saw that the status is there is no status there. Misha, can you
share that Google Doc?
Putu, he mentioned in the chat that article 35 and 32 both have been sent to the Susan, and I think that your article was 32, right?
Sorry?
Your
He
article
mentioned in the chat, you can see in the chat that he said that your article have been sent to Susan.
Oh, okay. Because I think last week, Misha told me that the article is ready for edit, but not sent to Susan, because I'm still in editing for that article, open data and fair. Well, I will talk to Misha later.
Thank you, Poto. So, any other question related to special issue? All right then. So, Poto, I would like to ask you to make a short summary regarding data access and control, if you can speak to that as well.
Yes, sure, Aliyah. Wait a minute. Basically, the layers is still we have 6 layers of access and control, but like we discussed yesterday, is what is the next step, and then Eric Flicken's child and also Eric Schulte answer and also Professor Miriam have a plan about we should identify actors in each layer. And also we should distinguish the clinical and also the research access and control for dashboard and also for metadata. And Eric will initiate the discussion with the different stakeholder. So we will discuss about this 6 layer. Maybe we'll the purpose of this discussion is to identify the needs or the requirement of each stakeholder, And also maybe there will be a change for the layer. For example, maybe we will reduce the layer, or maybe there is an additional layer for that. But the point is we should check the perspective of each stakeholder, not only from the VODAN Africa, but also several stakeholder will involving there, and we can check we can specify what kind of method or tools that we will use in the architecture. So that basically the progress. So that's the answer for our discussion yesterday, is about what is the next step for the access and control.
Thank you very
Also,
much for this update. I think it's clear for us. So anyone has any question related to data access and control project? So if not, okay, then we'll proceed. I think we have covered all the topics that we had planned to discuss, unless Professor Francesca has something to add. So Professor Francesca, do you have anything to add to this meeting?
Sorry, Alia, I missed that.
I mean, we covered all the topics that we planned to discuss. So I'm just wondering, do you have anything to add from your side?
No, not specifically, but I already posted in the WhatsApp, in the chat room that you, Miriam, Mariam, and Sakinat and Kawa and I will meet later in the week, perhaps on Thursday, so that we can properly define the task for the 4 different teams, for those that are involved in clinical data and research data, and then also pick the data stewards that will be working with these different groups and clearly identify the task and define the boundaries. By next week, we'll have a more comprehensive report to give, because Professor Miriam and I just discussed that minutes prior to this meeting, so I didn't have enough time to actually put the core teams together, and I also felt it's what we should do together as the team leads, rather than just bring people and then put them in teams, or we should do it together. That's basically it from me. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Francesca. Yeah, I think we'll have the separate meeting on that and discuss the details later on. Thank you very much. So if anyone has any questions, just to make sure that we have covered everything. If not, okay, well, I think we're done for today. So thank you everyone for participating in this meeting. As usual, you will get the recording of this meeting until the end of the week. And thank you again for participating, and see you at the next Tuesday at the usual time. Okay. Bye, everyone. Thanks a lot.
Well, yeah, thank you.
Bye.
Bye.